Good morning and welcome to our October learning series. Today's going to be an automation fair preview, kind of a traditional topic at this time of year for us. So automation fair is coming up next month. My name is Wayne Welk and I'm going to be kicking things off and kind of doing a few slides here, and I'll hand it over to Mike Masterson here in a few moments as well. So, we've reached the end of our learning series year, and we really want to thank everyone for attending throughout the year, kind of here to assist as needed. So first, I'm going to tempt technology fate with the official Rockwell hype video. Automation Fair is in Anaheim, California. If you have signed up for it, then hopefully you've got your travel arrangements made. It'll be November the 18th through the 21st. And, we've been showing this slide, for our previous learning series, and this was a change that happened last year with Automation Fair, but there are two kind of passes required to attend the event. The general access pass kind of gets you into the traditional Automation Fair that you're used to, going into the expo and doing the technical sessions and some of the hands-on labs, as well as some of the keynotes. That comes in at a cost for the general access pass. But then there's also the additional advanced training pass, so general access plus advanced training. And those are going to be more technical training sessions, as well as it gets the PDH hours, aspect of it. Again, if this is kind of new to you, I hadn't seen a change from last year, that the traditional kind of tech ed or Rock Live event kind of got folded into the Automation Fair event, and those kind of advanced training pieces is what this advanced training pass is required to access those classes. So the event agenda, a little bit of a different slide here. Normally we've been showing it oriented horizontally versus vertically, but basically it's a 4-day event. Starts on Monday, November the 18th. On that Monday, there will be some sessions and some labs, as well as some offsite tours. So one of the things they've added, starting last year, is some factory visits of some of the customers that are using the Rockwell Automation products. So that's always kind of interesting to do those offsite tours. Starting on Tuesday, the 19th, that's when the expo starts. So the big change this year is the expo is now 3 days. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with the expo. Still have, so the day, Tuesday actually starts off with a keynote first thing in the morning, probably senior Rockwell leadership at that one. And the expo floor opens up after the keynotes, and then there's still some offsite tours, as well as the summits and technical sessions and hands-on labs. And that kind of repeats as well as Wednesday, a keynote on Wednesday morning as well. Usually there's a guest speaker that comes in traditionally on that second day. And then expo tours, general sessions and hands-on labs, and then Thursday repeats without the keynotes on Thursday morning. So that's the agenda. For the overall agenda, it's flexible enough to where you can kind of drop in any day of the week there, or if you want to make the entire week out of it, you can start all the way back on Monday. A lot of stuff on this slide. I'm not going to read through everything, and I should say that if you are interested in this presentation, reach out to us, reach out to your local specialist, and we'll be happy to share this with you. I know there'll be a lot of things to read here. Can't go through it all, but essentially, just once again showing you that the event has really grown and evolved over the years. We'll have the kind of the industry tracks, right? So if you're in a specific industry and want to kind of follow, kind of a suggested track around your industry, some of the topics that might be relevant to your industry, you can follow those tracks. There's some industry viewpoints. A lot of times these are kind of customer-led events that showed some of their experiences in adopting the technologies. Hands-on labs, those have been there for many years, but those are there, still have those available today. Should also note that if you're not going to Automation Fair, or if you weren't able to sign up for some of the hands-on labs, because they usually fill up fast, a lot of these hands-on labs do become available after the fact in Rockwell's cloud-based infrastructure. So we can usually spin up these labs, within a month or two after the event. They usually become available. So just always keep that in mind. Reach out to us if you're interested in some of these labs that you couldn't do. Technical sessions are always, have been there as well. And then, of course, the expo floor, or the expo theater, as it's being called. So, a lot of our customers traditionally have also attended the PSUG event, which was part of Automation Fair. Usually that was the first 2 days of Automation Fair, the Monday, Tuesday, and then the Automation Fair event started on Wednesday and Thursday. So PSUG is still happening. It's just kind of folded into into that advanced training aspect. So that Tuesday, November the 19th, basically from 10:30 to 5, will be the PSUG. And PSUG just is Process Solutions Users Group. So an overview of the convention center. If you are going, here's a little preview of the lay of the land for you. Basically, the expo and the connection zone and all the keynotes will be in that blue areas there, kind of the level 1. And then levels 2 and level 3, the orange areas, will be where all of the technical sessions and the hands-on lab sessions will be. So everything is going to be fairly put together in one area, just between the different levels. A little bit of a look at the show, at the expo floor itself. The basically, the red. Kind of the red is the main corridor coming in. The green box is really the kind of the big, the big area for Rockwell and all their stuff. That's the technology and services area. So very large, floor plan there, and we have a picture of kind of what's in that booth here, I think, coming up right now. So essentially, this is the place you're going to go, right, to see everything, right? So be a pretty big booth. You can see we got a few breakout sections within here, so for power and process, things like Plant PAX, the new Logix SIS, which we'll talk about in a few moments. Guarding AI, which was something that got released this year around bringing AI intelligence into your drives. Or getting diagnostics out of your drives using AI. Under design software, you'll see the latest and greatest with Studio 5000 and Optics and Design Studio, which is the cloud-based environment. NPIs, new product introductions. So there'll be a lot of new products being introduced, so you can see them right here as well. And then operations software, things around analytics, Plex and Fix, sorry, as well as another new release coming out in Vision AI, which is basically bringing some AI intelligence into your vision systems. Life cycle services, motion and safety, as well as the Connected Systems Institute, which will be a nice, really kind of live demonstrations of digital twins and dashboards and analytics. So really, if you're going to the show, there'll be a lot of stuff just in this one general area to really just soak in and see what's new and exciting from Rockwell. So the rest of this presentation, we're going to kind of just look at, we're going to break it down into some of the major things right around controllers and networking and visualization, and just some of the things that will be coming out here in the very near future, and some things that will be coming out perhaps a little bit later down the road in 2025. So we'll start with controllers and I/O first, and new products that are being introduced here. These are the ones that Rockwell kind of published in their document around new products. So the Micro 820 is going to be released here soon. The E version of it, which is the enhanced Ethernet version of the Micro 820. We did the E version of the 850 and 870 not too long ago. So this will bring that same capability into the Micro 820 platform. This will bring Class 1 implicit messaging support to the Micro 820. Something that's coming out within the end of this year, by the end of this year, is the new RM3 module for the control logics. We'll talk about that in just a moment. The Logix SIS just launched in the last month, last couple weeks actually. Version 37 of Studio 5000 brought about Logix SIS. Something that we've been wanting and longing for a very long time is an actual wiring system for the 5069 compact Logix IO, and some new Armor Block 5000 blocks will be on display as well. So those are some of the big NPI releases. But there are a few things here on this slide that, again, these are the teaser items we're talking about. So if you are going to the show, and if you go to that giant technology and services showcase booth, one of the things you'll see there, top of the top on the left, is the ControlLogix L9 processor. So we're not going to go into detail on that today. L9 is looking to come out around the end of summer next year, 2025. So it's imminent, but it's not quite near yet. So a lot of details are still not quite known. But when we do our automation update in January, we can talk in more detail about the L9 CPU. So other things you'll see there is the embedded edge compute. So the in-chassis compute module for the control logics. That'll actually have that embedded edge compute actually has FactoryTalk Optics runtime built into it, so you can deploy your Optics runtime application right there on the edge compute module inside your control logics chassis. But another new product is going to be the Optics Edge, which will be like a box PC that can just mount on DIN rail in the cabinet, and it'll have Optics runtime on it. So you just deploy your application on that device. The other one is Logix Edge, and that's another kind of teaser thing that a lot of details on this aren't quite known yet. They will be showing it off at Automation Fair, and this is going to basically be a containerized Logix engine that we could on a embedded PC. So basically, taking your Logix, being able to put a Logix program on an embedded PC. A lot of details not known there yet, but be interesting to see that demonstrated on the show floor. And Logix SIS, which again we'll talk about in a moment. You can also see that the embedded edge compute and Logix Edge will also be shown off in the innovations booth. So innovations booth is usually where a lot of the cutting edge future technologies are kind of shown off as well. So definitely those two booths are be very interesting to visit and see what's going on in those exhibits. Okay, so RM3, we can talk about this a little bit because it will be out before the end of the year. That's the expectation, at least. So the RM3 will be a drop-in replacement for the 1756 RM2, and it's really more around just having to modernize the RM2 module due to components, typical kind of component obsolescence issues, and just having to bring some modernization to it. But they will enhance it a little bit with the RM3. So the RM3, like we said, is a drop-in replacement. It can go back with an L7 back to version 20. It could be used with the L8s, version 33 and higher. And it can also be used with the new Logix SIS system that we'll show here in just a moment. So a little bit modern design. There will be a version that will come out within a few months after the initial release that supports SFP capability as well. So Logix SIS, this is something we were excited about. This just came out in version 37. So version 37 of Studio 5000 released right at the end of September. And with 37, the ability to now take our GuardLogix CPUs, our L8 version of the GuardLogix CPUs, and we can run them as a redundant pair, like we see in this picture here. So traditional ControlLogix redundancy type architecture, where we have, two chassis, we have a CPU in each chassis, we have the RM2 or now the RM3 module in each chassis, and then our I/O for this system will be the Flex 5000, and you can see the Flex 5000 has the capability of the red safety rated I/O. So the Flex 5000 right now has one of the most complete footprints of safety rated I/O. There's a safety rated module for almost everything. There's discrete in, out, analog in and out, temperature rated safety or temperature safety rated I/O, and a high speed counter safety rated high-speed counter. So basically, that Flex 5000 platform, is fully complete with every type of I/O you can imagine that has a safety-rated version of it. So again, we'll talk more about this in some future sessions. This is just coming out, but it is available today. So if you are interested in learning a little bit more about this, please reach out and talk to us. I didn't mention that this is suitable for SIL 2 or even a SIL 3 certifications in this architecture. Yep, the other one that we've been, like we said, this has been a long time coming, and is the 5069 wiring system is about to be released early 2025. Expectations is probably around January, at least, open for orders in January. So it will be on display at the fair. Again, details of this aren't fully known yet. We've started to see a little bit of details just coming out, but basically there'll be a cable that will match up with every I/O card that is currently available for the 5069 platform. And those cables will basically interface with existing IFM blocks. I also believe there'll be a I/O ready cable. So one will be a pigtail. You can bring your own terminal block, or you can take it to an IFM block as well. All right, so some of the technical sessions that are around this, there'll be some technical sessions around Logix SIS. There'll be a big one there. There'll be some hands-on labs as well. The other teaser on this slide that we didn't talk about is this Bulletin 5034 I/O. So another thing that'll kind of start to be shown a little bit is the next generation point I/O, which will be known as the 5034 I/O. So again, details there aren't quite known, but if you're going to the show, you'll get to learn, get to see some sneak peeks of what that's going to look like. All right, control software. So some of the things, new releases on control software and things that you can learn more about. One, Connected Components Workbench software version 23 is coming out soon. Studio 5000 Logix Designer version 37 is actually released. Like I said, just released at the end of September. And then there'll be a new version of Logix Echo version 3.01 that should be coming out here, I think at the end of this month, sometime pretty soon, before the end of the year. And that'll bring in the ability to do some of the version 37 stuff in Logix Echo. So for Logix Designer, the last couple of years, pretty much every, new release every year, right? V35 was in 2022, 36 last year, and then 37 came out a little ahead of their traditional target date of November, came out in September. So the big thing about version 37 is really the Logix SIS support. That's the main feature. as well as a little bit better OPC UA workflow as well. Because one of the things that came about, I guess, was in version 36, was OPC UA through the Ethernet ports on the L8 controller to be able to do OPC UA directly, from the controller. So 37 brings some simplified, OPC UA workflows to Studio 5000. Version 23 of CCW will be coming out, probably around that February timeframe when the Micro 820E will come out. So basically, the version 23 will bring in support for that new Micro 820E, as well as the remote LCD will now be supported with the Micro 850s and 870s as well. So the little remote LCD was something that was kind of made it up with the 820, but now it'll be able to work with the 850 and 870 as well. Okay, so as far as what's at the fair, there'll be some sessions around logics, innovations. There'll be some in the innovation booth, be around the automated testing of your code. It's be interesting to kind of see that too. And then technology showcase will basically there's a lot of discussion around DevOps and bringing DevOps into our industrial automation workflows. So that'll be some of the things that'll be showing up in that technology showcase, as well as some industrial DevOps. So those are things, to me, would be pretty interesting to go see and learn a little about if you're at the show. All right, and with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mike to take it from here.
Wayne, feel free to carry on. You're doing a great job.
I'm tired. You got to go. Your turn.
All right. How about the next screen? And good morning, everyone. My name is Mike Masterson. I'm one of the automation specialists with the Reynolds company out of the Houston office. So at Automation Fair this year, Rockwell's releasing several new networking products. One's not so new is the Stratix 4300 wireless remote access VPN router. This is something we've had for a couple of years, but it's also getting more integrated with factory top optics, so that's going to be on the agenda. Then the next big thing change is going to be they're updating the Stratix 2000 unmanaged switch line to the 2100. The 2100 will be pretty much a drop-in replacement for any of these unmanaged switches. The big takeaway from this is what you're going to be getting. The 2100 is going to be adding more gigabit options. I believe it's also adding quality of service to the switches. So if you're on a small closed network for control, you can possibly use an unmanaged switch. And also the SFPs are going to be not included anymore. You'll be able to add those. And also what I heard was they're bringing out a new line of lower cost SFPs. So for your fiber connections, that should get a little bit more economical there. Next slide. What we're looking here at are some of the labs and sessions that will be having more of a network focus. Now, as you take a look at this, and Wayne, can you go to the next slide also? Because I think it's a continuation. Oh, nope, it's not. Those labs, a lot of those labs will be available for customers who are not going to Automation Fair, probably available in January. So if you see any of these labs and you're not going to be able to make it to Automation Fair, again, like Wayne said, reach out to your specialist and we'll get you set up for it. All right. Next session. Now we're going to take a little look at visualization software. One thing you'll notice at the kiosk, at the technology and services booth, there will be representations of both the optics panel, the awesome computers, and also factory talk. So some of the new items that we're going to be bringing out. Next slide, Wayne. So some of the ones coming out, what we will have are two new sizes of panel view 5000s and panel view plus 7s in the 10-inch and 15-inch side. There are going to be more optics appliances, meaning basically small PCs that are going to be running optics. There's a next generation mobile view. If you're not familiar with that, that is a tethered panel view, basically, used in a lot of safety applications for like conveyors and such. And on the industrial PC side, the big takeaway, the one that I'm most excited about is the 6300T JV1 thin client. This is a very economical thin client that can have support up to 4 monitors. So Rockwell's really expanded their PC line, and if you look across the board, we have a full complete product line nowadays. Next slide. And back on optics, one thing we've been pushing optics a lot lately. Actually this year we've had a couple of very highly attended sessions on training on optics. But one thing that makes us kind of excited about this product is there's a lot of deployment options for it. So at Automation Fair this year, you're going to see optics loaded on awesome 6300 PCs. They're the purpose-built optics panels, which are HMIs that already have the optics runtimes installed. An edge computer, so when you need to get that real backplane speed, we have a fairly inexpensive compute module that will sit in the chassis that will be able to run optics. And then we discussed a little bit in the optics edge device, which will be shown for the first time at Automation Fair. This is probably going to be more of a variation of the 4300, but we're really excited to see about what technology that might push out for us. Software releases, we've got View software version 15 and Optics 1.5 coming out. And next slide, we'll talk a little bit about what's coming out in 15. And the biggest takeaway for me is that we're getting away from SQL and going to InfluxDB as our database. So this drastically improves the Data Log Pro. It's a much better feature set. Also, what we're doing here is they've added on to the MQTT libraries for cloud connections, and better security functions are also built in it for things such as Viewpoint.
And one other thing there, Mike, too, was the performance enhancement discussions, because apparently just loading up the application is going to be considerably faster than what it's been in the past. So
yeah, that's one of those things I want to see in real life beforehand. But the InfluxDB switch is really big news for us on this. And let's see, next slide. Basically what we're there's going to be multiple sessions since, again, like I said earlier, we've been pushing optics a lot, so is Rockwell. There's going to be a lot of sessions with OEMs and end users who are early adopters of this program, going over their use cases for it. So if you get an opportunity, please listen to those. And if you're not attending, let us help you find some of these recorded sessions for you. So feel free to get with us if any of these sessions or topics are important to you. All right. And just some of the sessions that we're going to be showing that will be held at Automation Fair. All right. More labs. All right. Now the next slide. Now on visualization, Pepperl and Fuchs is having Thin Manager ready tablets. Those will be on display there. This is a product we're also very excited about. Again, as we push optics, having smaller, one nice thing about optics is it can run on pretty much anything. So tablet makes perfect sense for it. So Pepperl and Fuchs does have a Class 1 Div 2 tablet that will be able to run it. We're really excited about that, and that is a Thin Manager based tablet. All right, next one. I think we're going to talk about the different Thin Manager sessions that are coming up. I want to point these out just because usually Thin Manager, whenever we have our hands-on training, that's one of the sessions that people like to have. So these are the labs that are going to be available there. Again, after the fact, maybe in January. If these are any interest to you, please get back with us and we'll see if we can set them up for you. And we also have some new some technology partners that will be showing off some equipment. Stratus Technologies, which we use for our a lot of our PC and server needs, will be there showing FT Server and ZTC Edge. They also have some new products coming out. So we definitely want to support them, because as we go to a more client server architectures or an HMI, their products have become much more important to us. We use them now on a daily basis. Next slide. Now we'll talk about smart sites. Smart sites, if you're not familiar with the company, they are the company that was formerly Win911 and Excel Reporter. They merged and became smart sites. They are going to be showing off some, they have enhanced their packages, and a lot of important stuff to work with Rockwell, like we have extended alarm notifications. Next slide. And on the reporting side, they have multiple different reports depending on what type of person you are inside the company. Are you maintenance, operations? Are you system administrator? Win911 or Smart Sites has all these reports already built out for you. So big takeaway on this is, next slide, is they are now, this has been tested with factory talk optics. So they will be showing this off. So this will be pushing the reporting capabilities of smart sites and the alarming features, like being able to call. All those features are now going to be able to integrate with factory talk optics. So I think it puts together a very nice, competitive, low price HMI package now that possibly could work really well for utilities. All right, next slide. And with that, I guess that's all we have. For Wayne and myself, we certainly have enjoyed doing this year, and we look forward to doing this again next year. And I will, hold out any questions from anybody.
Yeah, feel free to type in any questions. Again, we knew today was going to be kind of short and just high level, kind of look at what to expect if you're going to the show, and if not, then what to expect, come into next year. And like we said, hopefully everybody will be back here in January, and we'll go into much greater detail on a lot of these things. And look forward to an exciting 2025. Looks like there'll be a lot of new things coming out, so lots of things to look forward to.